But the reason for City's issues right now is simple. It's arrogance, right? Over the years, they had a really good squad. The academy was booming. We were bringing talents through, right? And all of a sudden, they felt, we can buy anybody we want. Why we can let anybody go? So they kept letting talents go. You saw Morgan Rogers leave the club. You saw Lavia leave the club. You saw Palmer recently leave the club. So a lot of guys. They lap. All these guys. And these are people that you could easily, maybe, if you're going through a rut, you can just slip them in. Now that, okay, you are a manager, you should be able to give your young guys small assurance, bring them in small. Yeah. But Pep, I think Pep went on the after Palmer left. We are always open to do deals. You can let anyone go. So and this kind of things come back to now that you need assurances in your squad. You let all the quality guys go, and you're now scrapping all over Europe. Oh, Mamouche, 6 months of goodness. Oh, yeah, come. Football players, you don't know where you come and see.
And top of the morning to you. You're welcome to yet another episode of the Sports Lounge on Pop Central. It's been an amazing week of sports-related actions, and as usual, we're here to give you the breakdown from an angle you've never seen before. My name is Olabami Jojo. You can call me Bam Bam. The man so big they had to name him twice. And here again, I'm here with my usual suspects, and today I kept it classy and diverse with Thor on my right hand side. I have the man who is still yet to win any FPL this season. Although he's done better, and we have our Formula One god, Treasure. Well, let's start with Treasure. Treasure, how you doing, man?
Oh, well, I'm doing great this week, I beg. Let's just get into the show. I can't wait.
No, give us little gist now. What's happened this week? What happened this week for you?
Work, they frustrate man, but we thank God we are alive.
We're alive, and we always have sports to fall back to, let me go to Thor. What's happening in Asgard, man?
Hey, man, a lot's happening currently. There's NFL, there's basketball is hitting up, All-Star weekend is coming up, so Super Bowl is coming up. So there's a lot to look forward to, honestly.
How is Odin doing?
He's doing well. Same with
Interestingly, we have Anyola and Treasure. We're going to give us sweet scoop of what's coming up in this finals for the NFL. That's tomorrow, Sunday, right?
Yes, Sunday. We had the championship final.
AFC and NFC championship.
All right, we'll be getting into that. But on the left hand, our strong man, Ifedo, how you doing, man?
I'm great. I mean, it's been a while.
It has.
Yeah, glad to be back.
Why is everybody on this crew traveling? The only person that has not traveled is Treasure, and maybe Anyola.
I go soon travel.
Not yet.
They travel next month, actually.
By God's grace, very soon.
No, it's just briefing and out. It's work stuff. Yeah.
All right.
See, guy,
You know when people have money.
When you start
When you have money,
when you start
you
traveling
say,
for work,
glasses
it's
now.
a different level.
It's not a brief in and out.
When you start traveling for work, it's a different level.
It's a brief in and
Now,
out. No
expert
wahala.
TV now.
Well, big shout out to our guys who are not here. TV, Tomiwa. I mean, for a particular
Wait,
reason.
not true. Timmy don't lost for how many weeks now? Where he did?
Timmy has been touring the world.
Timmy is enjoying
I
it.
can't. He has been touring the
Just say they
world.
never kidnap her.
Allow Timmy. If there's a kidnapper and a woman.
Let's get into it.
I'm not there.
I'm not there as well.
I'm not there.
I'm not there. But anyways, let's get into it. The Champions League was this past week, and we're talking about kidnapping. PSG kidnapped 3 points from Man City and put them in a very precarious situation. And that's what we're going to talk about first. So we're looking at City as a team that are on the decline. Your captain, Kyle Walker, just moved to Milan in January. It's been a while I've seen a captain of the club decide to say, okay, I'm leaving in January, not waiting to the end of the season for a good ovation or anything. Gundogan moved. The Gundogan that went to Barca was not the same one that came back. Kevin De Bruyne, he's getting a little bit of what we are used to, but it's still not the same. If I were to what's going on with City?
But there are a lot of things going on with them. I just feel like ordinarily when you're doing well or when you're playing well, you have to make like plans for the future, continuity plans and all of that. Maybe they've not done so well in terms of transitioning. The fact that they are holding on for certain old guys in their squad and they're waiting for them to turn up. Yeah, it says a lot about their continuity plan. But I feel like this transfer window, they've gotten a couple of players. Coincidentally, the last time we were here, we spoke about what position they should buy. I said the forward. Tony said midfielder. I think you said the defense. They bought all of them. And they didn't take chances with whatever. So I think that in recent weeks they've not been so bad. I mean, compared to when they had that rot of 1 win in 11 or something like that. I think they've won a few games of recent, but that PSG game was like putting them back to bringing them back to reality and all of that. I feel like they're the ones that could survive a loss in that game. If PSG had lost that game, I think PSG were out automatically. But they have one more game at home to Club Brugge, so maybe not. I mean, you can never say anything is guaranteed with this City side. But with respect to the league, I mean, it's one game at a time in the league. You cannot plan too much, especially with their newfound reality. It's just nobody saw this coming. Nobody. Did you see it? I know you're not a Pep lover.
No, not really. But the reason for City's issues right now is simple. It's arrogance, right? Over the years, they had a really good squad. The academy was booming. We were bringing talents through, right? And all of a sudden, they felt, we can buy anybody we want. Why you can let anybody go? So they kept letting talents go. You saw Morgan Rogers leave the club. You saw Lavia leave the club. You saw Palmer recently leave the club. So a lot of guys They lap. All these guys left. And these are people that you could easily, maybe, if you're going through a rot, can just slip them in. Now, we don't know if they will have bombed the same way they are doing right now. But
do you think those guys will have liked to stay?
I mean,
considering what playing time has done for their careers.
That's part of it. So the fact that, okay, you are a manager, you should be able to give your young guys small assurance, bring them in small. Yeah. But Pep, I think Pep went on the after Palmer said he left, we are always open to do deals, you can let anyone go. So and these kind of things come back to haunt you. Now that you need assurances in your squad, you've let all the quality guys go, and you're now scrapping all over Europe. Oh, Mamouche, 6 months of goodness. Oh, yeah, come. Both players you don't know where you come and save me. Personally, I don't even feel. I mean, Mamouche is doing very well, but I feel like Pep will ruin him like he's ruined most attacking talents.
No, wait, hold on.
This is my
Are we getting
personal
agenda? That's
my
Mamouche
personal
will not
agenda.
flap in the Premier League.
He will struggle because Pep does this thing that he does to all attacking talents.
When you come in,
which one
you
is
first
all
stifle you.
attacking?
So I get where your line is coming from. It's about stifling players.
You have Grealish. Guy, the list is plenty. When they come in,
but you've also had Mahrez and you've also had Sane in that list as well.
Sane left because for some reason he was
Pep
unhappy.
brought him and he was balling.
Okay, let's look at Mahrez now. Thank you for bringing on Mahrez. Mahrez was
not the same now.
It's not the same
With
production
Leicester.
that you get. Mahrez had 16 goals and wasn't on 15 assists one season. When he went to City, he never touched those heights again.
But you couldn't say Mahrez wasn't prolific for City. When you watched him, he didn't just have those
not-
stats.
Hold on.
not
It's not about the numbers.
It's not about the
It's the style
of play.
What made me buy you? I've removed something
I removed
out of
it.
it.
No, and let me get the butt of your point here. Are you saying Pep? What's the word?
Instigator.
No.
Calm
Let's
down.
go.
Are you saying Pep stalls some attacking players or does not give them the freedom?
He shoehorns them into a particular style and takes away what makes them them. You look at Doku, for example. Doku was this energetic guy going in and out of players. He didn't have the end product, yes, but he had that factor that you're always on the edge of your seat when Doku is playing. Now you look at Doku and like when he's doing all these skills, like just go on the outside.
No. But could it actually be that Pep's system is also exposing what these guys actually didn't have, rather than we saying?
So why?
Because guess what?
Why
buy them?
Doku has actually never been that guy that end product was fantastic. But we always just saw take on and everybody's
You used Grealish as Doku as an
explosiveness.
example. I use Grealish. So when Grealish was at City, obviously they can't play the same system that City play. There are lots. Maybe if this is opposing goal, City probably camp around here. Villa is probably around here. So Grealish has like space
to run
at people and all that. But in City, there's no space. It was dance and pass back.
I said
So
this to a
in
couple
as
of-
much as
I said this to a
yes,
couple of people.
yeah,
right?
players have to take personal responsibility. There's that. But
But
the
the
system
system
has.
I'll give you another
has a way
example.
of
You have Guardiola. You buy Guardiola for
Because I even want to mention something about
75
Grealish.
million,
Just go ahead.
75 million pounds, right? He one of the most promising defenders in like Leipzig, does everything. You bring him in and you put him at
Left back.
But
What? Why?
Didn't we see him actually get joy
Exactly.
It was
At
scoring.
which point in the season?
It was scoring.
during the end of the season?
It was
Exactly.
scoring.
You don't buy-
It was scoring.
Is that not joy? Is that
No,
not
you're
some
not
joy.
getting. If
Do
I'm
you buy-
bringing a centre back
Okay.
at the end of season, I'm not going to judge a centre back by the goals that are scored. If you look at
Why is he one of
Hold
the
on,
respected
hold on.
FPL assets today?
that's FPL is not real life, bro.
I understand why you say that. I understand why you say that.
Can I say something?
Even right now, you are not really looking at. Imagine now they've bought 2 defenders, Torres and the guy I can't pronounce his name.
Kuzmanov.
Kuzmanov,
And you look at, you have Guardiola in your squad, you have all these guys. You are not bringing them. Like, come on now.
Can I say something?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For both Guardiola and Grealish. Now, before now, Pep had a team where he dominated possession. So we were not so concerned about how good, quote unquote, how good those defenders were in some sense. Because even Ruben Diaz, that everybody was shouting was their best defender, he would go to Portugal and sometimes he's like, the same Ruben Diaz and everything. Maybe just because now his team or his system is actually being a bit found out or something.
It's not just now.
That's one. Then Grealish, even the Grealish in Aston Villa, basically what I watched a lot of times was Grealish would get the ball. He could push the ball, but a lot of times what you see Grealish do is he would hold on to the ball, do this thing, he would drag, then he gets the foul. Why do you think Grealish was one of the most fouled players? He brought in the same.
Why has he been stopped? Why has he stopped being one of the most fouled? See,
I'm glad you bring up Grealish.
So I'm thinking
the strength
like
is ball
system,
carrying.
but
That
I
strength
think
does not
the system
exist in
is
City.
exposing their already.
So why do you buy them? Did you know
you buying
before?
them?
So which player should he buy?
Okay, so first is first, right? Like we said the other time, if you have players that are kings of overload, like once you camp in the opponent's side, they find spaces in those small spaces. Like if you look at some of people that has let go, someone like Cole Palmer, that have thrived absolutely in this type of system because no matter the type of block that is now on front, if it's not shooting, he has very good passes and all of that. He can do that. You cannot trust people like maybe Bernardo. You know, Bernardo used to be a wide man at Monaco. They brought him inside. They made him a lot more central, stifling him again. Do you understand? So it's not. I'm not saying that. Obviously, you said Enola is a big Pep. I'm a big Pep fan, right? So I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying that whenever people talk about removing something from attackers' game, I hear it. The biggest example that I'm surprised nobody has mentioned now is Haaland. Haaland was not like this in Dortmund. Haaland was
I
not
didn't
like
want
this
to
in
Haaland
Southampton.
because they'll say he's scoring
No,
goals.
but I agree.
But they've removed
Haaland's own is very obvious.
they've removed something from his. It doesn't mean he's not good.
But let me
It doesn't mean he's not adding anything to City. It's just a fact that something.
taking something away.
has
But
been
let me
removed from
ask
the
a
team.
question. As a professional footballer, right? And I think it's based from what Amorim said one of those when he first came into Man U about you're a professional footballer, you should be able to adapt. As a professional footballer, isn't it a slight to an extent on you that you're not being able to adapt? Because put in mind that these guys play for both club and country. And club and country play different kinds of systems. But they're able to, find a way to meld and everything. So if you're not adapting to a new system, isn't that more of a slight on the footballer than the coach himself?
No.
When you talk
They are
about-
failing to. The coach has asked them to do something. They've adapted to what the coach is asking them
But they're
to
not doing
do,
it well.
but they are not doing it. But their
isn't-
strengths are
then
no longer
isn't-
pronounced.
Then isn't then that's now the
You cannot-
player's fault
no,
in some
no,
That's
extent?
what-
No.
They told
No.
him, Oga,
No.
score goals for me, stay in the box.
No.
You've removed something from his
the-
game.
Why I come in here is if this is the case, if there's an 100% on what you're talking about,
It's not 100%.
Exactly.
It's
Because there's some players that
the majority
did get changed.
No, of course,
Kevin De Bruyne
positively.
was an
And
attacking midfielder. He
fantastic.
turned into a right centre midfielder. Same with David Silva. He turned into a left centre midfielder.
You are looking
This
at
guy's
so
different.
you are looking at
better for
players.
Last week
You are
we
looking at
mentioned
players that
Joel
have.
Linton.
You look at players that have multifaceted sides to their game. KDB always had that technically to him. He was
Just
as
to
a-
hold you
as a-
there,
as
is
a
that
winger.
what Pep should look for?
Yes.
Multifaceted players.
Just look for who find
Just look for who
fit what
fit-
you're
fit
doing.
what you're doing.
All right. Let's not kill all our conversation.
Water is water. Don't turn water to
Oh,
wine.
do you understand?
Let's not
Simple
kill
as
all our
shit.
conversation on Man
The
City.
reason why his wife left him, she's a tactical genius.
Oh my God! Why?
Hey,
I'm just gonna
Eniola,
ask you
don't
guys now,
hit a man
will
when
Man
he's
City
down.
make it?
Yeah, they will.
They will.
I think they
They'll
will.
be
Sure.
slow,
Bruges
they'll be
at
slow.
home. Yeah, Bruges at home.
Oh, good.
If you can't qualify from Bruges at home, how do you want to qualify? They couldn't have gotten a better fixture. Bruges at home. What if they will play Madrid away or Atletico away? See the type of fixture they give them. If you cannot qualify, they should just
They are
bury
not
their
supposed
heads
to
in
be
shame. They're not. Thank you.
All right. Interesting. Let's move to Madrid. And you get the feeling that Madrid have not yet fully clicked as a football club. Even though the anytime Barcelona sees them, there's
Chopping.
something that
That's the real meaning of arrogance that you mentioned. It's the real meaning of arrogance because you see when they play other teams and they play Barcelona, for some reason they're like, okay, we are as good. We're going to come out. We're going to come out. We're going to match. Man, just respect yourself and play what you want to play.
I want to pick out Rodrigo. And I mean, when that guy is not injured, I know he's the less fancied person out of that top three. But how good is Rodrigo?
I feel Rodrigo is the most technical of the front three.
Of course.
Most technical
It's
player in
not
the
you
front three.
feel.
He's
He
very,
is.
he's very me personally. I used to
He
troll
is.
one of my guys, Reggie. He's a big Madrid fan, man, Arsenal fan. So I used to troll him with the two of them. But I used to always talk about Rodrigo way like I'm like, yeah. When I started watching Rodrigo, I was like, damn, these guys are actually really
Good.
sound
Yeah.
footballer. Like there was one particular goal they scored when we was at the Club World Cup. This guy controlled the ball. Like it was in slow motion. I could see this guy moving. I was like, this is incredible. Like this is fantastic. So since then I've
Yeah,
been,
his talent height is not just like the other two. That's just the short
What
fall.
does that
Yeah.
mean? Why do you just
It's
put
not-
that? Why just put that as the?
maybe not talent. Maybe not
Like,
talent, but
we
quality.
spoke
ceiling.
about technique that it might be on a better level than those other two. That's Vinicius and Mbappe. But in terms of quality and talent, those two are ahead of that. Let's
We
be
are
serious
ahead.
now.
You go- you
We're
go-
talking two Ballon d'Or contenders.
Bro,
yeah.
you go
Mbappe
Mbappe scored.
currently ahead of him.
So a lot of people,
he's
a
getting
lot of
Madrid,
people.
it's
Go ahead.
Real Madrid
So,
season,
so
coming
this
from.
this Real Madrid season, in all honesty, Real Madrid is Vinicius' team. There's no two way around
Standard.
it.
Agreed.
But remember, I think it was 2 months ago. It was like this guy is scoring. It has this. It's just like people want to know who Mbappe is. When he was playing in France, we watch him Champions League. We watch him maybe once in 2 months or 3 months. Watch him when he plays for France. But now that everybody's watching, because
Consistently.
we have a lot more access to La Liga and all of that. So a lot of people, when he first came, they're seeing some flaws in his game that they did not even know that they exist. But now everybody's getting used to it, and his scoring goals is helping him as well. You see a lot of team spirit. Penalties, they pass it around. You see the way they celebrate with each other and all of that. So it's more like I'm getting used to it. Real Madrid is a different kettle of fish entirely, and I mean, I'm a big player. It's a big club. Match made 11, so it's a lot better now than it was in maybe October or November.
I feel really close to the Madrid players because I mean we have Kamavinga in the studio. But let's move on to Arsenal here and Kai Havertz. We talked about strikers last week. We're saying what are the good qualities or bad qualities of a striker. Is Kai Havertz a striker?
No, I don't know why. Because even and the reason why that transfer annoys me and why Arsenal fans continue to double down on it is because when they signed Havertz, they signed him as an LCM,
Shaka.
someone to play in the midfield. But they just happened. Okay, we don't have any. I just play striker, and it was working for him at Chelsea. So it's just something that he does. He scores occasional goals, but when it comes to the innate ability to be a striker, it's not
Doesn't
there.
have it.
It's not there.
I saw his assist to Declan Rice and I'm like,
If
this
this was
this is what Kai Havertz like.
if this was maybe like 2001 to maybe 2007 4-4-2 era, I think he would do well up front with somebody.
Playing as a supporting striker.
Yeah, he would do well with somebody because he can even go. He can bounce off the main striker,
Main striker,
and go
yeah.
up and.
I think that's
switch
what even
on.
worked for him at Leverkusen.
Yeah, at Leverkusen they had a 3-4-2. So it was a back three. I think they had midfield 4. I'm not sure if it was a 3-4-1 or 3-4-2-1. But then again, there were some
It
other
was in the-
strikers
it was in that middle.
and all of that. So people just assumed it was because Chelsea made that mistake. And Chelsea bought him as a number 10.
They
He's
compared
not
him
a
to
number
this guy
10.
that dropped the ball in NFL.
McAndrews.
Yes, when they did McAndrews and they put Kai Havertz picture there.
So it's just the. Remember, I can't remember when exactly, but we had this conversation before when Havertz got into Arsenal and he was playing in that midfield role, and it was like they had removed something major from Arsenal because he could not do what Xhaka was doing. Yeah, so I mean, I was one of the people that said this midfield is not going to work. If anything is going to work, because you bought big money, you bought him for big money, you're spending big wages, just toss him up front and pray that
So-
the people around can
Find
So
him.
let me
find
ask this
solutions.
question. Where would Kai Havertz function best in this Arsenal team?
Up front,
Yeah,
they
that's
don't
where
have a
he's-
choice now.
they don't have a choice
They
now.
have
It's where
a
he is
choice.
right
You want
now.
to play him wide.
Don't go to
You don't
play
have a
for
choice.
it.
You have to stick
Stand
with
in
him.
midfield.
I was thinking maybe you could try him on that right wing now that Saka is
You need a lot of things on. You need a lot of things on the right
See,
wing.
hold on.
For-
Hold on, I
he's not
said
with-
try.
he's-
You need a lot of things on the right wing. Number one is you need mobility, and minus the fact that you need mobility, most of us now chances come from wide areas, right? Is Havertz really that creator? That's number one. And number two, even if he starts creating well, what we'll see is people start double teaming him the way they always double team wide men and
Because I
all
don't
of
even think he
that.
has
Do you
the
think
pace.
do you think Havertz can cope
doesn't have
with a
the pace
double
for
team
it.
and all of that?
Doesn't
So
have
it's
Yes, I was
and his
thinking
size.
of-
You know,
I was
this is
thinking
somebody
about
that's
it,
like
but
you want to
let's
call someone
not
like
go into
6'4".
The fullbacks will be enjoying
That's
themselves.
not
Just say, come.
So yeah,
One
I think up front is the
more
best.
talking point from Arsenal here, and this one really hurts me because it pains me deeply. Odegaard is not really being informed this season.
Nothing hurts me about Arsenal.
Boy.
But there's synergy now. Okay, we've watched Arsenal play their right wing, Ben White, Odegaard, Saka. They've created something special in the last 2 years. That is where Arsenal's ball is. if you try and match their overload there, they'll switch. That's why Martinelli can see all the chances one-on-one. Now, there's no triangle. There's no big switch. There's no whatever. Everybody's going to suffer now. Ben White has been injured for a minute. Saka has been injured for a minute. So it's getting Partey at right back. It doesn't help doesn't help Partey. Doesn't help Arsenal. I don't know where the idea came from. Right wing, we've seen Sterling, we've seen Jesus, we've seen Nwaneri, we've seen different people play there. It's switch? Different to get that type of synergy that he had with Saka.
It take time.
Yeah, it just take a bit of time. Match now, Saka comes back, Ben White comes back, everybody says, Odegaard is back to his best, what happened? Meanwhile, it's just relationship between players. I mean, yes, if you're a world-class player, if you're a captain, if you're a leader, you are supposed to be able to take things by.
So the fact that he's not able to do that,
what
does that mean?
Football is not tennis. It's not one-man sport. You need your teammates, man. You need your teammates.
You just said it yourself. If you're the captain, if you're the leader, you're supposed to.
If someone like Vinicius was from India and was playing their national team, do you understand? Nothing for him. So it's just more of you're a good player. Your strength will show.
I don't imagine Vinicius in the
Playing with Rajesh.
Do you understand?
I can't tell which one. Put it down.
This is the racist thing.
Please.
All right, great conversation so far. We're just going to do a quick jump from football to NFL. And first of all, I want you to attempt something, because when you talk NFL sometimes, I've gotten some responses that people don't understand what you're saying. So can you either use football or basketball to explain NFL? Then when we come back, we'll talk more about what's going to happen in Super Bowl.
I leave it for my leader.
Why are you always running?
No, I will explain, but I'll leave it for my leader.
Okay,
first.
let me use basketball, right? So what's going on in the NFL is you have, and it's pretty much the same in almost American sports, right?
Yeah.
You have regular season games and then you have your off season, your postseason, your playoffs. So the aim generally is to win the most games as much as possible and put yourself in the best position to play in the playoffs, right? I think NFL is also the.
So sorry. How many different leagues do we have?
No, just one league. NFL, just one league.
Just
30 teams,
NFL.
one league.
Okay.
But
They are
separated
split into
NFC
different
and
divisions,
EFC.
right?
That's
Just
what I
like
mean. How many divisions?
there's,
Two
okay, let's
conferences.
do like this. There's two conferences.
Okay,
East,
just
West.
like
Let me just use
basketball.
basketball. East, West.
All right.
In the East and West, there are different South Pacific. All those
Divisions,
ones.
yeah,
That
exactly.
one, don't get bogged down by those technicalities.
North, South.
Just saying East and West.
Okay.
The guys in the East, you need to win as much games as possible to put yourself top position, top seed, or second seed, or third seed. But that seed ranking will help you in playoffs because you can have a week to rest while other people are playing.
Yes.
They're not come and meet you in your house. You have home field advantage throughout. West, same thing. So when you now get to the top of, like this weekend now, they'll play the NFC, AFC championship. It's East versus West championship. Whoever wins will go on to the NBA finals, basically. That's almost as basic as it is, just how it is. The only difference is NFL is the only game because of physicality. They don't have 7-game series.
they
It's
just
just one
play
game.
one.
One, if you lose, go on. Bye-bye. That's it. So as simple as it is.
Okay, so explain the goal. What's the goal?
The goal there is touchdown.
Okay.
When you get to the end of the field,
Okay.
right?
End zone.
End zone. It's called that 6 points for you. You kick an extra field goal to get an extra point, or you can do a 2 points attempt to get 2 points.
Okay.
Simple.
Okay.
And
Why
the
are you
aim,
acting like it's only me that needs to? Do you know about
Yeah, so I have one
ask
friend.
question too.
I have one friend that drags me to watch, and he says, his reference point is always Nico Jova, the Arsenal set
Corner
piece coach.
coach, yes.
So he says if you watch NFL, you give like a lot of you appreciate the set piece technicalities a lot because those NFL guys pay a lot of attention to strategies and all these things. So he's always dragging me to watch NFL. I don't watch it in entirety the way they do, but I try to pay attention to set piece, especially the ways.
and for people that want to watch the
inventive.
NFL, don't, like I told you in the beginning of the season, don't try to understand everything else.
At once, yeah.
Just watch.
So set piece
by
is
one.
my own entrance point. So that's why I want to watch and pay reference.
Watch it. When they score the touchdown, they are celebrating. You know that they scored a goal. If they intercept the ball, the other team is celebrating. Also, that they collected the ball from those guys are coming to the field to come and try and score.
Yeah.
a
So
point.
it's and it's the breaks. The breaks allow you to settle and
Settle and
understand. It's
watch.
not like football where as one tells have to counter
there are
attack. No,
four
you calm down.
attempts to
Yeah.
get 15 yards till you get to the end zone. 4 attempts every time. Once you at least your
15 or
4
10?
points. 15 yards. 15 yards. So 15 yards, 4 attempts. If you don't get 15 yards in 4 attempts,
You turn it over to
the next team. Finish.
All right, Patricia, I'm just going to ask you one more question before we go to the break. And I mean, we've seen Kevin De Bruyne repeat the Premier League trophy. can Patrick Mahomes do the same in?
Me and
NFL
Eniola,
football?
me and Eniola are on different views on this one. I personally told him that I do think like the Bills will come out on top. My prediction was actually the Bills to come out from the AFC. I see Eniola's face.
It's not going to happen. But let's continue.
So first off, let's start from the fact that the only team that seriously beats them, please, that Broncos game was not a game. The only team that seriously beats them this season was actually the Bills, right? And I do think like Josh Allen actually, and your last nothing is I do think like Josh Allen actually has, so far so good. Both Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, as we established, have not been at their top or at their best, right? And I do think somehow like the Bills, if the Bills defense can basically lock in, I do think like Josh Allen has a chance at actually beating these guys. And I'm a big believer in precedent. I want to believe that they will carry what they did in the regular season to the playoffs and everything. But I'm seriously rooting for Josh Allen. But that's my heart though. My mind, on the other hand, tells me that most likely Patrick Mahomes is looking like he's going to repeat this year.
So which do you usually follow, your head or your heart?
Right now, I want to follow my heart.
Right now.
I know my prediction was Bills. My prediction was Bills, and I'm sticking by my prediction. My prediction so far is still on par because Eagles is still on the NFC side, Bills is still on the AFC side. So let's see how it looks.
Interesting. My heart is telling me to continue this conversation, but my head is saying we should. See you shortly. And welcome back. What an interesting show it's been so far. Big shout out to Fedoton Treasurer and Eniola for leading up the studio. We've had interesting conversations about the UCL, and just before we went for the break, we talked about heads and hearts and the NFL. Just to wrap up that conversation here, I'm going to talk to Eniola about the Commanders and how they've moved from probably the second worst team to being favorites in the NFL. How much of an impact has Jaden Daniels had?
He's had a very good impact because I was saying on the group the other day, he's a very experienced rookie, right? Most rookies come in without maybe 1 or 2 years of playing in college, and then they come in. Jaden Daniels is someone that has played 53 straight college games, which means throughout his college career he's been playing. So he has he has amassed big game moments. He's calm, he's level-headed, and he's been in big moments before. And you now come into a team whereby they have built that team for you. You have the offensive coordinator that orchestrated the Atlanta Falcons run to the Super Bowl, but they ultimately lost to Tom Brady. But they are there, so they know how to play an offense. So they are very good with quarterbacking. But the problem with the Commanders is their defense is not good. So he's always having to outscore the opponent.
Yeah.
And to me, he's been the best player playing the quarterback position in these playoffs. I feel I'm really looking forward to how we can play against this Eagles defense as much more experience. Won't give you as many gaps and many penalties to play against, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Interesting. How about you, Treasure? What's your take on? I'm really impressed about the story of how they were able to change the narrative.
I was following there was I think a brief documentary or some clips that people did on Jaden Daniels, and then his training routine as well. He uses this VR, so they're like when he wakes up in the morning, before he even goes to train, he uses this VR thing to literally, he's looking around and everything, and then you can literally see even when he's playing, what he's able to do. And I second Eniola that he's basically been the best QB so far in these playoffs. And at the back of my mind, I'm like, this guy is actually still a rookie. But yet, against the Lions, especially against the Lions, you could literally see that it was basically Jaden Daniels it was the difference between the winning team and the losing team was basically the quarterback.
Yeah.
And you could literally see he was composed. He came to Jared Goff's house and literally outballed him in his own house and everything. So they have a cornerstone piece within in Jaden Daniels. If there's a way maybe they can make some moves to, as Eniola also mentioned, shore up their defense and everything, and probably build around him as well. I do think they really do have a very strong corner piece for years to come.
Okay, one interesting thing I've heard today, I've heard 3 different names, and I'm going to ask you guys, who do you think is MVP? If the season ended now, who do you think will be MVP? I've heard Patrick Mahomes, I've heard Josh Allen, I've heard Jaden Daniels. So which of these guys?
None of them, to be honest.
Wow.
None of the guys here. Because my own MVP
His
for
own
the
MVP
season is
is
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. Mine
That's my
is
MVP
Josh
for the
Allen.
Interesting. But I mean, whatever would happen on Sunday would have a very big impact on who would win MVP, right?
No. So that's where American sports is very different, right? So you can have you can win it all
regular season,
and not be the MVP. So they count a lot in what you do in the regular season. Because some players sometimes you can have a very mediocre regular season and then turn up in the playoffs, and they can't just give you MVP for that. So
but Eniola, I need to ask this question actually. Shouldn't it be like, okay, so my one of the major problems we've had with Lamar Jackson is in as much as regular season, yes, comes to the fore when it comes to regular season MVP. But then again, shouldn't we also look at his playoff records? Like, he hasn't been fantastic in the playoffs. And once again, his turnovers in the beginning of the game were a bit costly as well. So why
I
would I still
understand
say
your
Lamar
point,
Jackson?
but I'm not going to discount the historic season he had. Just because his tight end dropped the ball in the 2-point conversion.
Just his tight end.
Yeah, just that.
He as well.
So when you make mistakes in the beginning of the game,
yeah.
right, you correct them as the game goes on.
Yeah.
He corrected all his mistakes. The tight end himself dropped a pass for the third down conversion.
Yeah.
He dropped it. They came back again, and he led his team down 88 yards down the field and got a touchdown. Oh yeah, let's get the 2-point conversion. Hold the ball and drop it. I can't blame him for that. To be honest.
I hear you.
Okay, one last question on NFL before we jump back to our FPL. There's a very interesting video from the winner this week. But yeah, we'll get to that shortly. We all agree, right, that football, and I'm talking about the real football, is the most popular sport in the world. So who is the Messi and Ronaldo of NFL?
See, that question is always very. Right now, Messi, Ronaldo is very hard because the way the NFL is set up, it's not set up for. Obviously, the quarterback is the person that gets the spotlight and everything because he has the ball in his hands all the time. But there are different people playing in different positions that dominate, right? So, for example, if you want to say the greatest of all time currently, that's Tom Brady, right? We know that one. But saying Messi, Ronaldo, if you look in the history of
Messi, Ronaldo.
there's no
but
defined.
There's no real rivalry.
There's no defined Messi, Ronaldo.
I could make
right?
an argument for Peyton Manning and Tom Brady when they were playing as the closest to a Messi Ronaldo kind of
rivalry. Yeah. So you can say, okay, if it was Tom Brady versus the Mannings, which is the two brothers, Peyton and Eli, because two of them beat Tom Brady in Super Bowl to win NFL championships, right? So even at that, the rivalry wasn't a I one up you, you one up me. Or this, it's just more of Tom Brady has 7 rings. Those guys have like 2 or 4 between them. It's kind of lopsided.
Yeah.
So when you're talking of Ronaldo, Messi, it's hard to say because
Ronaldo,
you can even
Messi
say
is also kind of lopsided. Person gets 8 Ballon d'Or, another person gets.
Wait for your
And they look for trouble. No mind.
wait for your side.
but you can say even for Ronaldo, Messi, I can say Ronaldo has 5 UCL championships. They both have 5 each.
No, 4.
5-4. So it's very football is very different to where NFL is. And then there are different positions. There's wide receiver, there's defensive end, there's tackler. It's very hard to say there's one star boy like that.
Thank you very much, Eniola and Treasure, for that little lesson on the NFL.
Quick shout out to Saquon Barkley. We needed to mention that guy. At least the guy is having he had an historical regular season, and even in the playoffs, Baba is balling.
All right, big shout out to him. And yeah, moving to the Messi and Ronaldo of TSL FPL on this set. And that's me and Eniola, because we both won the FPL Manager of the Week
Because of 1
at
point.
least.
1 point. I already told my dry cleaner that that Agbada was shy. I was looking at the list like this.
Sparkling.
I got down and I saw that someone got 1 point more than me. I was like,
But I mean, before we
Next
go
time.
into trolling in Fedo for not
Next
winning
time.
yet, let's watch a video
Yet
on
again.
one man who has just done very well. I won't lie, and that's why this video is sounding like a testimony. Let's listen.
it's actually a testimony.
Good day, everyone. My name is Aaron Edaki, Aklef, Manager of the Week, TSL Manager of the Week for Game Week 22. Aklef is your daddy. That's my team name. I want to say a very big shout out to me. Shout out to me because about 7 weeks ago, I was last on the log. I was 110th position. And Bami G was always going on the group and calling me out that was last on the in the log. But look at me now. I've climbed up 17 places. Now I'm 93. Something that Ruben Amorim could not do with Manchester United. I'm doing it with my team. Just so easy. This week, my strategy was so simple. I captained Wood. I just kind of had this feeling that Salah was going to blank. So I captained Wood. I have Arnold. Um, I have Robinson. I have Watkins. I have Palmer. He blanked obviously. I have Aino. I was kind of so lucky. Isaac blanked also. I have Murphy. So they both blank. But my big strategy actually was captaining Wood, and I did it. I want to call out Bamiji because Bamiji told me that if I leave the last page of the TSL table, he's going to do a documentary for me. Bamiji, start my documentary, The Rise of the Funis Coach. Active. Thank you guys. Thank you TSL. Great community. Great work you guys are doing. Yeah. Peace out.
I don't know about a documentary, but big ups to you, Aklef. It's a brilliant story of determination because we really throw this guy. And another man that deserves throwing is definitely Fedot on the left. How have you not won one manager of the week? Just one. Okay, so you're aiming for the top three spots, I mean. I'm still in the top 20. I'm still in the top 20. I'm still. See, in life,
It happens.
in life, you need to know when to navigate windfalls. That's what I'm doing now. I'm navigating windfalls. What, you don't, are you doubting me?
No, I'm trying to see the point with
With TV, are you? Okay. All right.
All you need is one mad game week. Mad game week.
You will not see it. You will not see it. But yeah, let's talk about what it did. One brilliant thing it did, and it's one thing every person who is someone like you deserve, someone who is suffering in FPL right now needs. You need to be able to take risks. And he did not captain Salah, he didn't captain Isaac, he didn't captain Palmer, he went to captain Wood against Southampton. Okay. But yet he did not win.
1 point.
Exactly. So
1 point from Kickering's taking off his shirt.
Bro.
So who's the riskiest captain you've given this season?
The person I'm very safe. I'm very safe. I'm not going to take off that captain, man. Nah, man.
The week before was terrible. I didn't have Isaac. That's the weakness. Like, I'm going to jinx everybody. I'm guessing Isaac. Whether it performs or not, we're going to crash everybody's So I got in Isaac. I looked at fixtures. I knew Newcastle Bournemouth was tricky. I also knew that Liverpool Forest was tricky. So I'm like, you know what? Let me do hit watch list. I need my captain to play later on Sunday. And it worked out for me. I had I know and Chris Wood from Forest. I got in Trent. Trent had the assist and the clean sheet against Brentford as well. So those few things work. And because I think at the beginning of the season, everybody kind of toned down on the high scoring defenders because of Haaland's 15. But now that everybody has thrown Haaland away, we can now be like a lot more intentional with your team. It helps that Saka is injured as well.
Funny story was, I have a guy who is a Man U fan. So that Man U Southampton game, I forgot to mention it. The guy went to captain Ahmad.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's what we call risk.
The guy actually said he was going to captain.
That's what we call risk.
Ahmad for that game. And no more.
Paid off.
Can never be me.
I think the riskiest I've done is Isaac, and I don't even think that's.
It's not risky.
That's form now. That's form now.
So, I mean, people that play the safe game, we understand why we do that because the minutes, one of those premiums. Because
everybody's looking at this weekend.
You will drop.
But is it possible to get like a minus on the player?
Yes. If you get a red card or they concede too many goals.
Imagine you're not captain that kind of player.
That's happened
before.
Josh King.
No, not Josh King. It was one
Dennis.
Nigerian.
Emmanuel Dennis.
Who was this? I know someone should captain the guy.
Yes, a lot of people did it.
I thought it was Josh King. Dennis. It's actually Dennis. Yes.
So they had a double game week.
Yeah.
So a lot of people signed it.
So he got -2 first game. Then he didn't play the second game. He got red card and got suspended for the second game. Or something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk. I mean, there's a bit of time today before the game starts, the 4 o'clock deadline. I think it's 1:30 deadline. So who do you think is the best captain for this week? It seems pretty straightforward.
It's not.
It's not actually.
Oh,
it's not
really?
actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isak is playing Southampton. That's the
Yeah.
worst team in the league.
That's the
And
worst
Salah
in
is
the
playing
league.
Ipswich at Anfield. So it's
It's-
more of where do I
Yeah.
lean towards? Who do I trust more?
Talking about if we just
Isak.
came back from 6-0.
That's Liverpool at Anfield, yeah. So
Okay.
again, what if he gets to 6-0 at halftime and Slot says Salah come outside?
off.
Or Salah, or the imagine that, remember that game?
Bournemouth, 9-0.
Nice, Salah didn't even get anything.
Yeah,
so
So again, and,
man's paying me like
I would like
mad.
to think that Ipswich have learned lessons. I think they were very, very arrogant against City.
Ipswich,
Yeah.
they'll still play the same way.
No, I think they were very arrogant against City, and there's something that 6-0 defeat will do to you.
No,
Jesus.
not
You
McKenna. I doubt it. But it's good for me. 'cause I like this guy, but it's good
Bro,
for
that's
me.
what I was going to say next. Like, if he likes, he should not close. But I just looking at Isak and Southampton, especially since I went with that Southampton gamble the week before with Chris Wood. It looks like that team cannot get anything right defensively. So, and the form Isak is in, I think it's called before this last week.
Was
I think
8-8
they had
now?
done-
8-8.
exactly. So,
But why you not considering the fact that Newcastle had ate a snack last week against Bournemouth?
no, I'm
Yeah,
not.
those kind of things. Those kind of games. Newcastle have those kind of games.
Yeah,
Not everyone
and it's
can.
not even about Newcastle. It's about the opponents they played. Bournemouth are
Yep.
doing very, very well.
Very well,
Before
very
the game, everybody knew it was going to be a tricky game, but they just expect maybe Newcastle will score, Bournemouth will
3-2.
score. Do you understand? They didn't think it would be 4, maybe
Maybe
2-2
4,
or 1-1 or something like that. But with Southampton, the results ordinarily should not be in doubt. I think there's been a very big Newcastle Southampton win in the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, there was
6-0, 7. Was it 9?
Nine.
It was 9.
It was last season.
Exactly. It was
No, I
last.
don't think it was Southampton. I think it was Sheffield. It was Newcastle Sheffield.
Was it
Right.
Sheffield?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was Sheffield.
because I know there's one of those big. But I'm just looking at it from the angle that it's one of those two. Do I want to trust Wood again? Never. Just stay in the team. That captain bad will pass you by.
So who are you captaining?
Salah.
Who are you captaining?
Salah, man.
Salah.
This is why I said it was pretty straightforward.
I'm thinking
After all
of
the years,
The first game.
after all the years,
The first game of the
So,
season. Salah
when I-
If I
sat
was,
down.
if I was playing, I would have said Isak.
Oh, my way here was
So
when I
there's-
changed it. It
there's-
has been on
there's
the
a
sack
reason-
since
there's a
Thursday.
There's a reason why I might want to tilt away from Salah. As of recent games, he seems to have dipped a bit in his production, actually.
Don't worry.
And that's why I want to lean away from Salah.
Don't worry yourself.
Don't
well,
worry.
This is my
Don't
reason.
worry.
there's a reason why you're not playing FPL.
There's
This is
a
my reason.
But you once asked me for advice.
This
and
is my
you
reason
paid
for-
off.
this is my reason for
Morgan
Salah,
Rogers, Aston
and-
Villa. Have you forgotten?
This is my reason for Salah, and it's very straightforward. Midfield up goals more than attacker goals. That's one. You get extra points if you keep a clean sheet. That's two. And out of two of them, which is more likely to create or get an assist? That's
Don't worry, Dad.
All right,
We'll come
interest.
back next week.
One other topic.
all
on
of
the
us who
FPL.
captain Salah. Don't worry, it won't hurt anybody. But
Another topic on the FPL. Who's the differential in your team? The one that nobody has.
that nobody has. So I've had Milos Kakic for maybe like
Long
2
time.
months.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I just got him.
I got.
Just got Kekes.
Yeah,
Crazy. I've
I
had
got
Kekes for a
I
while.
got Anderson 2 weeks ago. That's the goalie, and Palace have been kind of.
A lot of people have
keeping
jumped on
that.
Anderson now, so you
Yeah,
can't really.
and-
Which defender will you be cooking?
And I got Trent.
I
yeah.
won't call Trent the differential.
I got Trent because of Brentford, Ipswich,
Then
double game week. Yeah.
How about
So
you?
The differential for me, I'll say Ahmad. Ahmad has been. I've had Ahmad for like a good while now. A good while.
should I jinx him?
Even before
No drum. No drum. Stay where you
Liverpool
did.
game when he was scoring all those goals, he's been in my team.
Stay
After
where
the
you
City
did.
game when I brought him in, so he's been there.
Should I jinx him, man?
All right,
Stay
let's
there.
talk about
I
the
will
double
put
game
him for
week then.
bench. Don't worry, I will bring in the lap.
Liverpool and Everton, they would have. So what these special players people should look out for that double game week?
Because
Salah
it's not
now.
this week now. It's upper week, Abi.
It's over.
I mean, Salah is
Salah,
is a
okay,
constant
but
staple.
I-
If there's someone that you're
Salah,
looking to
So
gain 68 points on somebody,
So I think
Diaz.
I've spoken about Trent. Useful in both facets of play, clean sheet points, attacking asset as well. But I'm also looking at Cody Gakpo.
yeah, there's a lot of talk about Gakpo.
I'm also looking at Cody Gakpo. Diaz has been the one playing up front, so he'll probably share minutes with maybe Nunez or so. Gakpo has been playing wide left, and he kind of has maybe trust from Salah, the type of chance that Salah has been creating from him, and he has license to shoot. You know, there's some people that shoot and other people throw tantrums. Everybody like kind of expects him to take on someone of his own as well. You might also go for Van Dijk. I think he's a nailed-on starter in both games, regardless of the results or whatever. So
Oh, I guess that's the issue with Gakpo. You're not sure whether it's
yeah,
the
you're
start
not
of
sure.
games.
Maybe we'll start both games because it's midweek and at weekend as well. So Van Dijk, Trent, Salah, Gakpo. If you want to go Risky. You can add maybe Szoboszlai. It's
How
been
about-
shooting a
what
lot
about
more
Jota?
recent. Jota's just play 15 minutes combined. But it will go again.
The Everton angle. Anybody?
Everton.
We saw them.
There's only one person that's worth our while in Everton, and that's Ndoye, in my opinion.
Yeah.
No Pickford?
Man in there.
What if Liverpool score 6?
Pickford care.
I don't know if all those ones. I'm trying to cover 68 points gap. You're telling me Pickford. This guy won't make I go back.
They give you bad advice.
All right. You've heard from the guys. Good luck to you this FPL. I'm wishing everybody green arrows except if Everton. We're back again next week to laugh at him, I'm very sure.
Enemies.
He's here to win the manager of the week. So we're talking about transfers, and the January transfer window will soon close. But we're going to look back now at the last summer transfer window and just go around and talk about who we think have been very good value for the transfer signings that they were signed for. Treasury start.
So I have two guys. One is someone that maybe you guys might probably have him at the back of your heads, but it's Nikola Milenkovic, the 6'5" Serbian defender in Nottingham Forest. My God, that guy has been value. When you say value for money, that guy is value for money. They picked him up at just around £10 million or thereabouts. And then you're literally seeing one Nottingham Forest is literally doing like with a combination of him and then their goalkeeper Sales at the back as well and everything. And it feels like they are locking up shop. And one thing I've noticed with Forest is, especially when they play some of the big boys, once they score you that 2 or something, forget they lock shop.
Extra defender, Morata. Morato. No, Morato. They bring in the extra person. It's Morato. That's his name. They bring in the extra person.
And the guy has actually like really been like a rock in that defense. So for me, like I think that's the best value for money I've seen. The other,
For me, I feel like it's almost the same because I had to really think. I was like, come on, all the clubs that signed players.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
so you have to really
it's
think.
mostly like, okay, I was like, okay, Forest, Bomber. I don't know if Bomber signed anyone extraordinary in the window. I think Milenkovic, I agree with that too. Because I remember way back when you were looking to move on from Lindelof. I was like, how about this Milenkovic guy in Fiorentina? That time you see that here. So, it's one of the guys.
Julian Alvarez is the top scorer in Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, so if we're going outside...
Do you mean all...
Yeah, if we're going outside...
Alvarez, definitely.
If we're going outside England, you have a few more names.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody's going to call Mbappe because we all know who that is. He should get out. It's not part of this conversation. But, yeah. Alvarez's name will come up. I was thinking about somebody and the person just skipped my mind now. Jesus Christ. But Alvarez's name will come up. I know up until maybe 2 months ago, we'll have had Mazraoui in this conversation, but it's kind of...
I think we can still have him.
Dipped a bit. It's kind of dipped a bit. And it has to do with mostly positional change.
Yeah, exactly.
And all of that. But I don't think that people got value for money in this transfer window. The people that have gotten the best...
Could you mention Raya? Because they just completed his
No.
The other signing is so I was going to add Delap and I was going to add Delap, but the what I was even going to is the people that have gotten the most value in terms of transfers, like people that look like concerns and people that have promoted academy players and people that have done maybe some sort of chop and change in terms of position and sales.
Coaching. More is coaches.
Yeah, coaches are the ones that have done that. They've earned their money.
They've
earned money.
Maresca.
Iraola, Nuno. Those guys have had to
Nuno,
convert a couple of people. Look at Gravenberch, looks literally like a new signing. So those type of things are what they have moved the needle a lot more than going to the market to copy.
Brilliantly said. Thank
Barcelona,
you very much.
they had Bernard get injured. They brought on Casado, and you see exactly. So it's things like that have moved. This not going to the market.
Very well said. Thank you very much, guys. It's been an interesting show today. I enjoyed talking football with you. We'll just quickly go predictions for what's to come. There's a big one: City, Chelsea. Predictions quickly.
I'll say
Please,
Chelsea.
can I not predict?
Chelsea.
I'll say Chelsea. Chelsea to win.
To win. Interesting.
Like 2-1 or
City.
3-1.
City to win.
Yes, City's win.
You don't feel Chelsea's going to?
I feel like Robert Sanchez will cost them again.
Maresca said he does not mind.
No, of course, because it's like what we always say about profiles. It might not be like quality, but in terms of what he wants from a goalkeeper, he's doing it. So
I want to do the flip. The reason
Your
being
draw.
that every time I go with a particular team, they end up most likely losing. So, like I told you now, that Atlanta-Napoli, first leg I said Napoli lost. Second leg I said Atlanta lost. So, Chelsea to lose. I'm picking Chelsea, but to lose.
All right,
City,
you
yes.
went from our Okrika Autobus treasure. Thank you very much. Until next week, we'll be here. Don't ever forget about the Sports Lounge on Pop Central every Saturday. Thank you very much.